Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Aisha, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the DOBRE brothers today. So I literally have a list here full of stuff that I'm going to talk about, but the first thing I want to say, just some disclaimers here, is that I'm not making this video to be a hater. I'm not making this video to be a bully. I really just want to get my story across and have I really want to get my story across and have you guys hear my entire experience with the DOBRE brothers and make up your own opinion from that. In no way, shape, or form am I telling you to stop watching them, to stop supporting them, or even hate them. If you want to keep supporting them, if you want to keep watching their videos, that is totally up to you, but I no longer do. I've been getting a lot of DMs from people asking what happened between the DOBRE brothers and I, and why they no longer like my stuff, why Cyrus unfollowed me, why I no longer post about them. So if you want to know all the answers to those questions, just keep on watching. The first thing that I want to talk about in this video is how I found out about the DOBRE brothers. So when I started my channel, I started off as a makeup channel, and I kind of wanted to branch out and try different videos other than just makeup and beauty. So I started looking into the Whisper Challenge, and when I looked it up, I found Lucas and Marcus and their channel. So from there, I kept watching more videos, and I really enjoyed watching them because they seemed like such humble YouTubers, instead of being like extravagant, over the top YouTubers like a lot of other people. Something that I'd like to point out is that a lot of people tend to comment on my pictures, on my videos, like, oh, you're so lucky you got to meet the DOBRE brothers, or you're so lucky that you have Cyrus's number, you're so lucky that they notice you. But I want to tell you guys, all of that is not luck. It was not out of luck. The reason that I met them, the reason that I got Cyrus's number, and the reason that they knew who I was, it was all because of money. So a lot of people have asked how I ended up getting in contact with them, how I ended up getting Cyrus's number. So the way that I got in contact with them was through Lively. So for those of you guys who don't know, Lively is a streaming app. So people can go live, and on this app, people can send gifts. So every gift has a different value. So it goes from 5 gift points to 25 to 50 to 100 to 1,000 and then 5,000. And the way that you are able to send these gifts to your favorite streamers are by paying for them. So with these gifts, if you sent them one of the smaller gifts, which was like 5, 25, 100, 500 gift points, they would say like, oh, thank you for sending this gift, but they wouldn't really give you much attention. To really get their attention and have them say your name and like scream and do backflips and all of that, you had to send the 5,000 gift point gift. Now, to buy that gift, it cost $50 for one. So if you guys did watch their live streams on Lively, you know that they would ask for one DOBRE, which is that 5,000 gift point gift, for a backflip. Sometimes they would offer a guest call for that $50 gift. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes Cyrus and Darius would offer a follow for that 5,000 gift point gift. And especially Cyrus, he would offer videos for that DOBRE. So sometimes he would offer to send you a video saying like, I love you in different languages, or he would send you a video of himself rapping with your name in it, or something about you, something related to you. And he just did a bunch of random stuff like that. Or he would rap on the live stream or make up a song for you, do some backflips for you for that $50 gift. So for a long time I did send them a lot of gifts on these live streams. I almost never would send the smaller gifts. I would always send the DOBREs, because of the fact that it would get me so much attention. So basically, to get Cyrus's number, this was very rare, but on occasion he would go live and he would say if someone sent him 2 DOBREs, which is equal to $100, that he would give them his phone number. So that's exactly what I did. I sent 2 DOBREs to get his phone number, and that's how I got in contact with him, through text and FaceTime. And pretty much like Lucas and Marcus knew me because they always saw me FaceTiming Cyrus, and I also sent them a few DOBREs. So because I sent them all these DOBREs, they knew who I was. And so for like the twins and for Darius, whenever they went live, their top gifter always got the follow. So to get the follow from the twins, I had to send, how much did I send? I sent like 25,000 gift points, which is equivalent to $250 just to be followed on Lively or Musically. And that was like the same situation with Darius, also Cyrus, I believe. I honestly don't remember how I got the follow from Cyrus, but that was the same thing with other platforms. So Cyrus offered to follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat for more DOBREs. So basically I sent him DOBREs for all of that, so that I would be followed on Instagram, Snapchat, Musically, Twitter, and I had his phone number. With that being said, without trying, I ended up sending them a lot of money. I didn't realize that I sent them this much money until I looked at it afterwards and added it all up, because they did live stream like almost every day. I would say between all of them, they would live stream a good 3 to 4 times a week. So yeah, I was sending them DOBREs like all the time. Pretty much every live stream I was sending them like $200 worth, and I feel like that is what kept them like shouting me out and just like giving me lots of attention and all of that, because they knew the more attention that they gave me, the more that I would send. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you the total that I ended up sending them on Lively, like just Lively. So you guys don't judge, because I obviously know now that I should not have sent them that much, and it is a whole lot of money, and honestly I do feel really dumb now that I sent that to them, because I can't get it back, and now I am in a pretty good amount of debt because of it. So basically, just from Lively, I sent them a total of about $4,000. Between all 4 of them, I sent them a total of about $4,000. I would say maybe like 1,000 or 1,500 was just to the twins and Darius, and the rest of it was all to Cyrus. If you guys were on the streams, you know that I was pretty much always his top gifter, and he would always like give shout outs to his top gifter and do duets on Musically with his top gifter. And I know people were getting upset because he was always doing duets with me. So for those of you guys who are complaining like why did he do that, that is why. Something else I'd like to bring up is fan mail. So I did send them fan mail. I sent them fan mail twice actually. The first time I sent fan mail, I really only sent letters, and I sent them each a bracelet that I brought back from Nicaragua. But my guess is that they never opened it, because when I talked to Cyrus, like he never told me anything about receiving the bracelet, opening the letters, or anything like that. So my guess is that they just never opened it, or if they did, they didn't read it, or they didn't keep it. I don't know. But the second time that I sent fan mail, I sent a very large package. I sent a ginormous box. It actually cost me $100 just to ship the box because it was so big. And actually, when they received it, Darius was the first person to see the box. And he was live when he received it. So he actually was asking everyone in the live stream to like try to contact me to join the live stream because he wanted to guest me, because he was saying it was the biggest box that they had ever received. So for that fan mail, what I sent them, which you might have or you might not have seen, were some customized sweaters that say Aisha loves me on the front in the corner, and on the back it had each of their names with the number of their birth date. So Lucas and Marcus had a 28, Cyrus had a 9, and Dari had a 2. So I sent them these crew necks along with other small things like candy. I sent them portable chargers. I sent them silly string. I sent Aurelia and Boz socks. I wrote them each a handwritten letter, and a few other things, just smaller, like cute little things. So I ended up spending a total of about $300 on this box of fan mail, which they received. And if you guys have seen like pictures and Musical.lys, you will see that Lucas, Marcus, and Darius have worn the sweater that I sent them a few times. But Cyrus, on the other hand, he did send me a picture of himself wearing the sweater when he received it. And he did take a picture of it and put it on his story, on his Snapchat story when he received it. But never again did I ever see him wear the sweater, which to me was very disappointing because I spent my own money and time getting the sweater made and sending it out to him, but he didn't even wear it. Now, something else that I want to talk about is my FaceTime calls with Cyrus. In some of the FaceTime calls, I did get to talk to Darius and the twins, but a lot of the time our FaceTime calls were very, our FaceTime calls were pretty much just me and him talking, and there were times where he was alone and there were times where he was with his brothers, where he would say, Aisha, you know, we really appreciate you. We do consider you a friend and not a fan. You've done so much for us. You've supported us all the way. And honestly, we really see you as a friend. So with him always telling me that, I really did believe that I was their friend, since he, you know, he was FaceTiming me. He was texting me all the time. You know, if I needed to talk to him, he tried to make some time to talk to me. So I pretty much did believe that I was their friend. So the next thing I want to talk about is the trip to Maryland that I was supposed to take. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I was supposed to take a trip to Maryland last year during the summer, in August. So pretty much I brought the idea up to Cyrus in May of last year, and I brought it up around the time that I got his number. So I did bring it up in live streams. I did bring it up to him in text. I did bring it up to him in FaceTime calls. And each time I brought it up, he would pretty much say like, yeah, we would love to meet you. We'd love to see you here. We can't wait to meet you. It's gonna be so much fun. We would love for you to come here. And just basically hyping up the idea of me going to Maryland to meet them. So pretty much for this trip, I had specific dates planned out. I do have a job, so I did have to request the time off from my job. So I did tell him that there were specific days that I wanted to go. And since he did hype it all up, you know, I did believe that it was going to happen. So with that being said, I did work full-time at my regular job, and I did additionally pick up a lot of dog walks from my side job. And I would do that after work, before work, on my days off. And I also did some babysitting just so that I could save up $2,000 to make the trip over in a matter of 2.5 months. Okay, so on June 9th of last year, I texted him saying, so my friend will be coming to Maryland with me and we are needing to plan as soon as possible to take the time off of work and try to buy reasonably priced plane tickets. We are thinking August 7th through 12th. Please let me know as soon as possible if those dates seem okay. He did respond to me on June 12th, so 3 days later, and he said, our schedule is very random, but we may be available for those dates. So pretty much I believe that that was gonna work out, so I kept saving money for the trip. Okay, so a conversation came up where I was trying to plan out the trip accordingly. So on July 8th, I sent him a text saying, I'm starting to look for Airbnbs for while I'm in Maryland. Should I be looking in Hagerstown? And he replied 2 hours later saying anywhere. And I wrote, well, my purpose in going is to get a chance to hang out with you guys, and I'd like to be nearby, and I don't know anything about Maryland since I've never been there. He replied, true, Frederick and Hagerstown have hotels. I don't know about Airbnb. I wrote, LOL, there are Airbnbs everywhere. What city is it that you guys live in? And he wrote Hagerstown. And I wrote, got it, I will start looking for a place. With this conversation taking place, it really did make me believe that it was going to happen, because he would have otherwise said, well, you know, Aisha, like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to meet you or not. He pretty much just kept me believing that this was going to happen. As the trip was getting closer, the week before, I did send him a text just to confirm that everything was happening so that I can purchase my ticket, get my Airbnb, and everything would be set. On July 31st, I texted him, hey, do you guys have the dates you're going to Miami yet? We're about 8 days away from my anticipated takeoff day. That same day, he responded, we anticipate this weekend, just know we may be able to meet you briefly as we have a lot to do. You expected that though, right? Also, we may be going to LA after that. So when I read this message, I was honestly very disappointed. And the thing that I think bothered me the most was that he wrote, you expected that though, right? Because I don't know why I would expect that when he basically was making it seem like they were going to meet me. So I responded with, to be honest, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I would hope that as friends, you guys would be able to make some time to hang out with a friend, or even friends if Gia and Bunny came with me. I honestly would love to watch the process behind creating content, but I understand if that is crossing boundaries. I really don't want to be an inconvenience. I just thought you guys wanted to meet me as much as I wanted to meet you guys. And he responded with, of course we want to meet, but our schedule is so random we can't guarantee it. You all are amazing, but we also have to stay exclusive with certain things. But I can't promise you we can meet up, especially if we are busy. We are moving to LA anyways. Meeting in Cali may be more convenient for you, because if you come to MD, it is a risk if we're not here. So basically, once he sent me that text, I didn't respond. I was very disappointed. He just was not keeping his word, and I really don't like that in people. So if you guys have been watching me for a while and you guys used to watch my live streams, you probably remember this stream. I went live about a week after these texts. For that week, I mean, I was very upset. I didn't want to talk to anyone because everyone was asking why I wasn't in Maryland like the plan was to be. So I didn't talk to anyone, but I did go live the week after to explain the entire situation. And I titled that live stream, Answering All Questions Honestly. So keep in mind that last summer, I basically live stream almost every single day. And I would live stream for a good hour or two. And I had the follow from all 4 brothers, but they would never join my live stream. But the moment that I go live and I title answering all questions honestly, all 4 of them join. And during this live stream, I'm talking about the trip to Maryland and how I'm being told something different than what was originally said to me. And they all join and start giving excuses as to how busy they are and how much they try to do for all of us. And it's only in the live stream where I'm talking about something that doesn't make them look good. So what does that seem like to you guys? To me, I can't say for sure that this is a situation and this is what happened, but to me, it seems like the only reason they joined my live stream is to save their butts, to make sure that I'm not saying anything badly about them so that no one else sees them as, you know, not really caring about their fans, not really worried about other people's feelings. I just thought it was really weird. And when they joined my live stream, they try to say a bunch of stuff about how they love me and all this stuff, and pretty much I just ignored their comments because at that point I was already so angry. You know, I worked so hard all summer to save up all that money just to go see them, and last minute they tell me that that's not a good idea after hyping it up for 2 months. So the next thing I want to talk about is Saisha. So everyone shipped Saisha. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's a mashup of Cyrus and Aisha. So a lot of people thought that Cyrus and I were dating. Let's get this straight. Cyrus and I were never dating. I'm going to admit, yes, I did like Cyrus. And it was kind of weird to me in the moment as well that I liked someone that I had never met. But Cyrus and I did talk a lot, and he honestly was always so sweet with me. Every time we FaceTimed and I'd answer the call, he'd always start off the conversation by saying, "Oh, you look beautiful today." And during the live streams, he would always claim Saisha, and whenever he would make his little raps and songs, he would call me his bae, his bae, on Musically. He did a duet with me where he said that I was a gift to him, and he did say this multiple times in his live streams about me being a gift to him. And something I did not know when all of this started was that Cyrus had a girlfriend at the time, and I did not know. He never mentioned any of this to me. I ended up finding out kind of on accident on Instagram, and I was really upset that it wasn't mentioned, but I got over it. The girl ended up being really nice till this day. You know, I really love that girl. Like, she is super nice. She's so pretty, and she deserved a lot more than him. So at some point in this situation, I realized that I was getting myself into too much debt, so I stopped sending gifts. And I did notice that as soon as I stopped sending gifts, I was getting less attention. I was getting less texts back. I was getting less FaceTime calls. Whenever I joined a live stream, I wasn't being noticed as much. So at some point I decided that it was a good time to confront Cyrus about the entire situation, because it really was not fair that I was not being noticed or recognized just because I wasn't sending gifts after him telling me that I was his friend. So when this confrontation happened, I sent him a text on August 18th, and I wrote, "Hey Cyrus, I'm just going to let you know how I feel because it's eating me alive. As you saw, I was very upset with how everything went down. I imagine you guys may think I was being dramatic. The reason I reacted so badly is because I've spent a total of $3,500 between you, the twins, and Dari on DOBRE's merch and fan mail. I invested what is a lot of money to me on you guys because I believed you guys deserved it. I believe you guys to be amazing, humble, grateful individuals, unlike many others on social media. I started talking to you about visiting you guys back in May, which you told me was a possibility. I worked harder than I ever have in my life with 3 jobs, working 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. I was having mental breakdowns at least twice a week just from being so tired, but in my opinion, it was all worth it because I would finally get the opportunity to meet the people I admired so much. I think what hurt the most is that it was hyped up so much on Lively's by you and Dari, which had me believing it was going to happen. I know you guys are busy. I've told you guys many times before. I understand how hard it is to put out a YouTube video, let alone 5 in 1 week. I get that. I also tried to understand that you guys did a lot of traveling, which is why I waited till last minute to book a flight. I tried to be understanding of your lives, but I don't feel like you were understanding of mine. The last thing you tried to tell me was, we are moving to LA anyways, meeting in Cali may be more convenient for you, because if you come to MD, it's a risk if we're not here. Personally, I found this very contradicting because at the end of the day, I would still have to travel to meet you. I'm not sure if you realize this or not, but a trip from where I live to LA is about a 7 to 8 hour drive, which would mean I would need to take time off of work. I'd have to miss class if it's not summer or winter break, because I am a full-time college student, and still plan it out and save money to make the trip over. And I'm sure I still wouldn't be guaranteed to meet you because you would be equally as busy. You constantly called me one of your day ones and your friend, not a fan, but honestly, I don't feel like this is how you would treat one of your friends. I basically feel used. I feel as if I was hyped up just so I can send more dab reels so you can afford the Versace jackets, the payments for the Jag, the sunglasses, the Gucci shoes. I see you investing in all these designer objects, but I don't ever see the money being invested in the fans. I feel as though you guys travel for your own pleasure. You guys talked about going on tour this summer, but it didn't happen. You guys went to New York, Miami, and the Bahamas. For what? Hang out with wild animals, shoot music videos? But it wasn't for the fans. You guys met fans in passing, but they weren't the reason you were there. So how am I to think differently than I'm paying to give these people a bougie lifestyle? Now I have several people coming to me asking for advice, wanting to know why are they changing, what's real, what's fake, and I have no idea what to say anymore because I myself don't know the answers to these questions. And I also don't want to alter others' opinions based on my own experience. I really hope you don't take this the wrong way and don't believe I'm here to hate or throw shade, because honestly, I just need you to see things from my perspective and what it looks like on my end. Also, I think the Dobre Army deserves to not be confused or upset about you guys. So please, just remember who you guys are and where you came from. He then responded with, "Hi Aisha, thank you for sharing this with me. No matter what, you will still be a day one. I'm grateful for all your support and choosing to send the dab reels in love. There were no promises made. Also, I gave you everything I promised for the gifts. Also, the things we have are from saved up money, nothing to do with dab reels. Don't ever feel like we don't care about you. We still love you. There are a lot of other fans that we told we can't promise to see them, and they gave lots of gifts, but they still continue to support us and understand and love us unconditionally. I'm sorry you felt that way and that you may have suffered, but regardless, you are still important to us. Also, even though no promises were made, I apologize if we may have hyped anything up. We love you all so much. We are always hyped up. You're always welcome back to the Dobre Army and we can start fresh. If not, we understand. Also, just know anytime you need or needed something, I was there. No other influencer will do that. I truly care. The Dobre brothers care, which is why I gave away my number for gifts. No other influencer would want to get involved with fans like that. I'm there for the Army whenever I can be. And I also never said you couldn't visit. I just said I couldn't promise all my time and would be risky. I don't even have the time for friends. We are that busy. Dookie Dora has Dari, Marcus has Betsy, and I had you. Dia gave all of us, especially Dari, even more dab reels than anyone has ever sent, and we are so grateful to her. Yet you are the only one that has direct contact to me out of all of them and their favorites. Just remember that. And now I lost you, but I totally understand." Just some commentary here. I and a couple of other people do believe that this message was a little bit inappropriate. Just the fact that he was basically telling me that there was someone else who sent more money than I did, but that I'm expecting more, I think is a little ridiculous. So I responded with, thank you for being understanding of the situation. Meeting you guys was something that meant the world to me because for a long time I felt as though I needed to continuously send you guys gifts to be remembered or noticed. And in my mind, it got to a point where I felt that if I met you guys would love me for my personality and who I was. Honestly, it's been really hard for me to try to separate myself from you guys because I admire you guys. The best part of my day was always watching you guys do all that you do. For the last 2 weeks, it felt like a part of me was missing. It felt that the only way to relieve all my suffering was to put you guys in the past. I obviously love you guys, especially you, Cy. You know how I felt about Sysha. I really want to continue to support you guys, but financially I cannot continue sending DOBREs the way I did before. But I would love to continue watching your videos, wearing the merch, joining in on livelies. I just hope I won't be forgotten. He responded with, Aisha, you don't have to send gifts to be remembered. You yourself are a gift. We still love you the same, and you are someone important in the DOBRE army. Everyone knows. I've talked to you more probably than anyone else in the DOBRE army, and my whole fam knows about you and how supportive you've been. Good night. I should be asleep. Have to record at 7 a.m. And I just wrote, all right, Sai, have a good night. So that was that confrontation that happened. I pretty much just started believing afterwards that it wasn't about the gifts, it wasn't about the money. So I wasn't sending gifts, but it was still the same thing. I wasn't getting texts a lot, I wasn't getting FaceTime calls, I wasn't really being noticed in the live streams as much. And then rolling around to October, if you guys have been following me that long, you probably remember I got really sick in October. I was sick for a while and I was not getting better. I was in and out of the hospital for a few weeks, trying to figure out the problem and taking different medications, and nothing was working. Honestly, feel like it was the most sick I've ever been in my life, and I had to spend a lot of time at home. But if you guys remember, there was a picture that I posted on my Instagram story. I will put it right over here. And the thing is, when I posted this picture, you can obviously tell that I am very sick. I'm not okay. And when I went to look at who saw my story, Cyrus was one of those people who saw my story. Within the next few days after that, I did not receive anything from him. He did not DM me to ask if I was okay. He did not send a text, at least to say, I hope you're feeling better, or I hope you're doing okay. None of that. That's what I would think that a real friend would do, check in, or even say like, I hope you're doing okay, but he did not do any of that. So I was really disappointed because I thought more of him, considering how much we've talked and how much I invested in them, and how much like they meant to me, and how much they made it seem like I meant to them. So I was very disappointed, and I just did not believe him to be humble anymore or even care about me. So at that point, I was pretty much done. Next thing I want to talk about is Cyrus and his relationship with Kristina. A lot of people have been asking me what I think about Kristina, if I think she's a good person, whatever. I cannot say much about Kristina because I've never met Kristina. I don't know Kristina. For those of you guys who don't know, Kristina is Cyrus's girlfriend. I've never met her, so I can't really say much about her. But I do want to say that a few months ago, I heard something from a very reliable source. So someone who interacts with them directly. This reliable source explained a little bit about what Kristina is like. So I was having a conversation through DMs with someone I considered a friend about what this reliable source said. And what I told this person was basically, I told her that Cyrus and Kristina broke up because that's what the source told me. And pretty much this person was just saying like, oh, I'm confused because he was in her live stream 2 days ago. And all I said was, I was told yesterday, so maybe things went downhill quickly. And she wrote, it's still confusing to me. She was talking about him yesterday in her live too. And I just wrote, Well, then I don't know. I was told that she's a brat and very rude to Aurelia. I was just talking and stating things that I heard. This isn't stuff that I thought about her because I didn't even know her. This is just stuff that I heard from this reliable source. So this whole conversation ended up being screenshotted, and this friend ended up sending screenshots of this conversation we were having to Kristina directly. So now, when Kristina received these screenshots, Kristina went ahead, she looked me up on Instagram, she slid in my DMs, she sent me the screenshot of the conversation, and she wrote, nope, things didn't go downhill and I'm not a brat nor rude. The opposite, actually. Now, what I have to say about this DM is, it honestly got me very irritated that she sent me this DM because I'm not the one saying that about her. I'm just saying what I heard. Now, another thing too is I'm a strong believer in, you know, if people are talking or saying something about you and it's not true, it's really easy to ignore what people are saying. Now, if people are saying something that is true, I can see it bothering you. And that's usually when people end up confronting or being bothered by the situation, which is how I saw this situation. You know, if she is DMing me and searching me on Instagram to message me about something that I commented about what someone else said, then she must be bothered by that. And it must be true. I personally thought it was very bratty, I thought it was very immature to go ahead and search me up on Instagram just to send me this DM. I personally, if I were in that situation, I personally would not do that. I would just ignore it, because at the end of the day, if it's not true, why even waste your time acknowledging the person who's saying that? But she did. And in that case, I just responded with, congrats, would you like a high five? So after this happens with Kristina, I get a text from a good friend, and she lets me know that Cyrus has unfollowed me. I had no idea that he did. That's not something that I noticed, but she did, and she let me know. So I went to go take a look, and it was true. Cyrus unfollowed me on Instagram. Why? I have no idea. The only thing I could think of is that it's related to the whole Kristina situation, but I don't know. About 2 days after that, I look on Twitter, and guess what? Cyrus unfollowed me on Twitter as well. I look a few days later on Snapchat, and guess what happens? I got deleted on Snapchat as well. So, this honestly really pissed me off, because in the past, Cyrus and I talked about money and gifts and how there was a fair trade between the money that I sent and the follows that with the money I sent, I got follows in return. So it really bothered me at that time that he unfollowed me after I had sent him money for these follows. So now I don't have my money, and I also don't have my follows. So at the end of the day, I lose both things, and I get nothing out of it, while he gets to sit in a McLaren and have a BMW and have this large house, and part of it is due to my money. I know that the money that I sent is not a lot compared to all the money that they're spending right now, but that's still something that I could have used for something else. Obviously, I'm in college. I could have used that money. It could have paid for a whole semester of my tuition, but instead they have it. I don't have follows, and after he unfollowed me, after I took some days to kind of calm down and not approach him in such an angry way, I did try to text him to kind of talk about the situation and understand like why this happened. I obviously approached him in a very respectful way, because I really was not looking for any problems. I really just wanted to talk it out and find out why he unfollowed me. So on January 15th of this year, I texted him, "Hi, I know I haven't talked to you in months. A lot has happened within the last few months and it seems like we're in a bad place and I don't like it. For a long time, I was disappointed in you because I had financially supported you guys, more specifically you, so much. I also wasn't looking at that from a business perspective because Cyrus Dobre and Dobre Brothers technically is your business. I only saw it blindsided by my emotions. Cyrus, I started to actually like you, not like everyone else does, but actually have feelings towards you, but I felt stupid expressing them. So the moment I stopped sending you gifts and we no longer would text anymore or we wouldn't FaceTime anymore, I started to feel like you didn't care about me anymore. I tried to understand you guys' fame started escalating quickly, but a few months ago I got really sick and I was in and out of the hospital for about 2 months, and I saw that you saw it on my Instagram story, but you didn't even bother to text me and say, hope you're doing okay. But again, I was looking at all of this from a perspective of someone who had feelings for you, which was stupid of me. Deep down inside, I knew that you would never like someone like me, but hearing you say so many nice things to me made me think differently. For a while, I felt hurt. I felt as though I went through a breakup trying to get over you, and it sucked. With all the constant reminders of you and all the Sisha tags everywhere, I saw that you unfollowed me from Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, which at first pissed me off because I basically paid for those follows, and now I don't even have them or my money. It was a lose-lose for me. I don't know if this has anything to do with Kristina. I'm sorry if she was offended by anything said in my conversation with Blank, and I were talking as friends about something I heard, which was supposed to stay between us. In my defense, I would like to say that I not once ever judged Kristina. I never stated an opinion that I may have had on her because the fact is I don't know her. The only thing I can base her off of now is the DM she sent me, basically rubbing in my face that you guys are together. Like I've always said, I just want you to be happy. So if Kristina is what makes you happy, great. Just like I supported you when you and Blank were together and never judged her. I've gotten my emotions out of the way. I don't romantically like you anymore, and it's a new year and I don't like starting it off with these bad vibes. So I'm sorry for any trouble this had caused, and I just really don't want any bad toxic vibes anymore. I'm not sure where this leaves us or if you even like me as a person anymore, but the Dobre brothers always have a special place in my heart, and most importantly introduced me to a few of my best friends and my significant other, so thank you. So at the time, I was dating someone who I ended up meeting because of them, so that's why I said that at the end. But I never got a response from him after this. And then a few months later, in March for his birthday, I just sent him a text that said, happy birthday, Cy. Hope you enjoy your day. And I know that he hadn't changed his number at this time because I did have a friend who also had his number, and she texted him and he responded and said thank you. Till this day, I don't know what is going on. I don't know if he sees my text and just doesn't respond. I don't know if maybe he just has my number blocked at this point. At this point, I really don't care. I did my part. I tried to be civil. If anything, Cyrus pretty much, in my opinion, used me for my money. It doesn't, just based on his actions, like I said before, actions speak louder than words. It just seems like he never really cared about me. All he wanted was to give me attention so that I would send more gifts so he could get more money. And then, you know, once I couldn't do that anymore, I was no longer getting that attention. I'd like to conclude this whole situation by telling you guys that this entire video mostly revolves around Cyrus, but I also am disappointed that Darius, Lucas, and Marcus were able to sit around on the sidelines and watch Cyrus do this to me. It's really upsetting that they were able to sit around while he was FaceTiming me and you know, hear him say all these nice things to me while he had a girlfriend and making me believe that I was important, when in reality, you know, it doesn't really seem that way. I'm also very disappointed about the whole Maryland trip, because a lot of this was mentioned when they were around, and Lucas and Marcus did hear me say stuff about this Maryland trip. I even got to speak to their dad about me making this trip to Maryland, and everyone basically made it seem like it was super exciting that I was taking this trip, and that is not what it seems like the week before. So I'm pretty disappointed in all of them. Obviously more Cyrus, but definitely disappointed in all of them. And you guys have obviously seen through their videos, through their pictures, they are pretty much not the same humble guys that we watched last year. The entire reason why I started watching them is because they were very relatable. They seemed very humble. They seemed like such normal people, compared to other YouTubers who were just flashing money and just a bunch of objects in our faces that any normal person probably could not afford. But now they're pretty much doing the same thing. All I ever see them wear now is Gucci and Off-White and Supreme, all of those high-end brands. Whereas when we used to watch them last year, all they really wore was H&M. Also, just the fact that now they literally buy a new car about every other month. And all they ever do is make videos about these cars that they've bought and take pictures with the cars that they've bought and just rub it in our faces that they're able to buy these cars. And that's not the people that we started watching. So with that being said, to answer all your questions, no, I do not watch them anymore. No, I do not talk to them anymore. No, I don't. Pretty much at this point, I don't support them anymore. I don't really like them anymore. There's no reason to like them. They did so much damage to me that I have no reason to even want to watch them or look at them or anything. At this point, like, I really don't care. I did my part. I tried. Even when Cyrus did such shady things to me, I still tried to be civil and talk to him like an adult. But that obviously didn't work out. So there's no reason to chase after someone like that. And at this point, I'm over it. I'm over the Dobre brothers, and I literally don't have any association with them, and I don't want to be associated with them. Just based on what has happened so far, I personally do not see them as good people anymore. And I wouldn't want to be associated with someone like that. So that's that. So to conclude this, I do want to share some videos from some other people who have felt similarly and have gone through similar situations. So I will play that now.